together with pride worldwide. This is for the dreamers, rebels and crew, for the fans in the back and the diehards too. Break the chains, let the passion ring. We're calling out hate in the squared off ring. Kicking out at 2, where the love runs deep and the fight stays true. Kicking out at 2, no tribal lines, just respect me and you.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Listen up, wrestling fans. Showing love for your favorites doesn't stop at a t-shirt. If you're heading to a live event, you better be ready for the hard cam. Step up your show day drip with Hard Cam Creations, custom handmade accessories built for the loudest, proudest fans in the building. Whether you're backing a legend or leading your own faction, these pieces make sure you stand out when that camera swings your way. From spectator to certified superfan, it's time to walk to the ring in style. New drops coming soon. Find Hard Cam Creations on Etsy and follow at Hard Cam Creations on Instagram today.
Who's better than Canyon?
That's not right. Hold on. That looks horrible. Let's try that again. Okay, sorry about that.
Wow.
Little bit of technical difficulties. He, she's, theys, and all those who slay. What? I don't even have the thing I was gonna do. Where did that go? Okay. No. That's right. Sorry. Again. Take 2. It's live, pal. He, she, theys, and all those who slay. We love Jacob and the Bloodline as much as anyone, but we have to admit, it's getting stale in here. We're tired of seeing those bros. It's getting too much. I want to turn the show off. That's for Crystal. Thank you so much for making me do that. I appreciate you. Welcome to Kicking Out 2. I'm Michael, and with me is the confetti-covered commander of wrestling, the Shawn Michaels to my Shawn Michaels, because there ain't no Janetti. Tori herself. Hey, Tori.
You sure about that?
Today,
Sure?
well, today I'm pretty sure I'm not Janetti. I might be like Howard Finkel. I don't know. I ain't doing you no favors at all. Welcome in, everybody. I already see some people going to see Extreme Chicks here. Hey, Christy. Hey, Bobby. I thought I saw some other names up there. Yeah, got some singing in here, Lady Alpha. To give you a little backstory on that, I was hanging out in Crystal of the Baddies TikTok stream the other day, and I was just talking back and forth with her a little bit, and I had said the first part of that, which is it's getting stale in here, and it's because she had said that stale, and she was using that as her word, and I said, well, what if I sing it like Nelly? And she said, you better do that on stream, clip it, and tag me. So I'm going to do that. Thank you for the wonderful challenge. That's great. Stampede's in here. How do you know?
He had a foot amputated.
How do you know? Huh? Who? What?
Martin Jannetty had a foot amputated. It just popped up on my news thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's been a while. That was during the time that he was they had to do that shortly after he did the documentary where he talked about the fact that he might have maybe possibly killed a guy.
That's right.
Sounds like an OJ trial. I don't know what's going on here. All right. Well, of course my buttons aren't working. Why would they work today? Do. News.
Team, assemble!
I saw my from yesterday. Holy shit, I look terrible.
You look great. Shut your mouth. All right. WWE Rumor Mill. The first thing is, as you can see by the wonderful thumbnail that we have, we're going to talk a little bit about the back and forth of what's going on in today's world when it comes to who's going, who's leaving, where they're going to go. We got the rumor mill right now saying Baron Corbin might return. Dave Meltzer reports circulating, so take that with a grain of salt because we said Grunkle Dave's name. If I say it 2 more times, he might show up. I don't know. That's kind of how things go.
Is the logo over your face, or am I just crazy?
No, the logo is over my face. Hold on.
Okay.
I moved everything because we had 3 people on last week, and now, like,
My bad.
Things are
That's
just
what I get
weird.
taking a week off.
Also why I don't have slides this week. I'm all discombobulated. Here we go. See, there's the news right there. Bye, Fightful. Bear with us, folks. It's like we're doing this for the first time.
It's fine.
Internally, WWE sources have reportedly discussed that this is an out of left field possibility over the last couple of weeks. Corbin currently is performing as Bishop Dyer across MLW, CMLL, Maple Leaf Pro, and all sorts of other promotions. He's built more momentum on the indie circuit, including a tag run with Donovan Dijak as the Skyscrapers, which I love the fact that he brought that gimmick back. That's amazing.
Yeah.
WWE personnel reportedly is maintaining a positive relationship with him, but they are saying that they're not set for his return, but if he would return, it would not be surprising. What do you think about Bishop coming back or Baron
I
Corbin?
think it's a terrible idea.
Bum-ass Corbin.
Look.
What
This
if he's Corbinhausen? What if that, because Danhausen's trying to resurrect some sort of thing.
No.
No, not Corbin.
He hasn't had a good character since they got rid of the Lone Wolf character. So I'm a pass on all of it. Thanks.
Fair enough. Okay. Thank you, Lady Alpha, for saying I have a handsome face. I appreciate that. Thank you, Bobby, for liking everything on YouTube. And Extreme Chick says, I think he should stay in the Indies. I do agree with that. I think he fits there. If he went anywhere, maybe TNA. Like, I think he might fit there. But I don't think he really fits in AEW.
But the advantage of doing TNA is he can do whatever he wants to. Going back limits what he can do, and that's the problem.
Yeah. Yes, WSW. I've seen some of his matches. I haven't seen full shows. But yes,
Is that
matches are massively
was that the one at the like food market? I don't know. It's the one that the Nomi was on, and I watched it yesterday.
You said the secret word, Nomi. Just in case nobody knew, not like we haven't promoted it a whole bunch already. We were going to be interviewing the Nomi. All my stuff went away. No.
Struggle is real tonight, isn't it?
It is. I am all sorts of, like, at least y'all get to see a wonderful picture of Liv Morgan. There you go. Enjoy her for a moment while I get everything back up here. Struggle is real today. There we go. All right. That's up. Oh, what? TikTok's looking all weird too. Hold on. Fix TikTok while I'm at it.
Yes, I'm so excited about that interview with the Nomi. Oh, that's the Australia company. Okay.
Oh, no, that's good.
Yes, I need to go watch. Stampede, where are you watching those matches? Because I really want to see those.
I'll let you and Stampede have a moment real quick. Talk amongst yourselves. The Rockers were neither rocks nor ers. Gus?
Wow. No. So, for anybody that may not have seen the advertisements and me pimping out the fact that I pulled this off.
All on her own.
I did.
From me.
So, Friday afternoon, I had been kind of going back and forth with Gabby Forza on Twitter. Just silly stuff, being dumb, nothing, important. And I thought, what the hell, I'm going to shoot my shot. And I sent her a DM, and I was like, hey, sorry for just sliding up in here. But would you be interested in doing an interview with our show? And she's like, can I ask you some questions? And I'm like, of course. Because apparently at one point she just agreed to an interview with a show that she was not vibing with at all and was on there for like a fucking hour. And she's like, it was horrid. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. No, I understand that. So she asked some questions, and I answered what I could and sent the rest to him, and he answered them because I don't know, because I just work here. But she said she's down, and I told her we normally stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and she's like, a Tuesday would be fine. And then she said, but I have Thursday the 28th available of May if you want to do that. I'm like, done. I didn't even check. I didn't even ask him. I just said, done. So we will be interviewing Gabby Forza a week from Thursday. I've been watching a bunch of her matches, and she's so much fun in the ring.
Okay, thank you for telling all of that. I'm getting yelled at by my child, who is in our TikTok chat right now. Hey, Sorry. If you haven't noticed, if you've been here long enough, it's a struggle today. So I
The
didn't see your
struggle's real.
messages. I apologize.
Are we on TikTok too? I guess I
Um,
don't have
yeah,
it.
we're on TikTok.
The
We're over
TikTok
there.
chat not on.
No, TikTok chat isn't on here.
Okay.
I can't get that on there yet.
Okay.
Because we broke motherfuckers.
Because we what?
Because we broke motherfuckers.
Oh, okay. Is it expensive?
Yeah, because I'd have to add to be able to put in one more chat on there, which is the next level,
Oh.
which is like double the money.
Oh,
Yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, on that news, since we're gonna go ahead and talk about some of that news, I actually have another interview lined up for us as well already for June. So
okay.
I don't know if we want to drop that here of who that is.
I mean, we can drop it here and then promote it later. There's only so many people in here.
Only so many people watching this, whatever.
I'm just-
So I was having a lovely conversation. I don't know if anybody has been on Twitter as of late, but
Okay.
on Twitter, there is a girl that has been promoting herself and her designs, and she promoted herself to the Ass Boys.
It's guns.
The
I
Guns.
saw Laura, I think is her name.
I'm double checking that now just because I just started talking to her today. Yes, Laura. On Twitter, she is Laura Keep Going. She popped a tweet that just said, "I wish I could be on a wrestling podcast someday," and I replied back, "Hey, DM me."
I saw that.
So we've been talking for a little bit. She
Okay.
has some open time in June, so we're gonna settle that up. Have her in June as well, so we're gonna have more people on
Hell
there.
yeah.
I love that just because it's a fan who has gotten an amazing opportunity to do some stuff. So I'd love to have her on for that and just hear about why she's a fan, how long she's been a fan, and stuff like that. So we'll definitely talk to her and bring her in. Anyway, so back to the news now that we've got everything kind of settled back up here. There is also a creative watch as far as a momentum shift. Jacy Jayne, early on the WWE roster, her run has been strong, showing against top stars like Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. But according to WrestleVotes Radio on Fightful Select, crowd reactions to Fatal Influence have already caused internal creative adjustments. WWE Creative is reportedly reshaping parts of that women's division to feature Jacy Jayne more prominently because of the positive feedback that they're getting from the fans. So it looks like we may have some momentum shifts as far as getting maybe Jacy Jayne and maybe Fatal Influence themselves in more space. What do you think?
I'm fine with it. Like, Jacy is really talented. She struggled to find her own place after the end of the other group she was in.
Fatal Attraction.
Yes, that one. And I think that this is it's a good thing. Fallon is solid. Lainey is not bad. She's still growing, but having her out there is not a bad thing.
It's
I'm
not a bad thing.
here for it.
The only thing that I have said about them coming up, I don't know if the other two were ready. I kind of have a
That's
worry
fair.
that they're going to end up falling off because they just weren't there yet.
Yeah.
Fallon was still kind of refining her character. She had this kind of like cowgirl type thing going on, and then it slowly kind of morphed into a girl that just wears cowgirl stuff and not really much other than that. And then of course the other poor girl just had no real like time
Lainey?
Lainey has had no time or seems like any effort behind the creative for her to help her create some sort of character for herself. She's just kind of the third person. She's
Right.
the Spice Girl nobody knows about. I believe it's called Paprika. Point Jacy at Tiffany and point the Influence at the tag team titles. I'd be fine with that.
Right? I mean, the women's tag division is solid right now, but I'm good with adding them in like that. I mean, it's good reps.
Yeah. If nothing else, they can be the one that like everybody beat for now. As far as like it, if you have Riho or whatever, if you have them against the immovable objects, you know, they end up facing Fatal Influence and they beat Fatal Influence. That's just the team they get to tune up.
Right. No, I don't disagree. I don't think it's a bad idea at all.
There is possibly a AAA and WWE expansion. Early planning for TripleMania reportedly placed the event in Arena CDMX on September 12th as a one-night show. Now, there is internal speculation that Night 1 could take place in the United States. WWE integration with AAA is expected to expand further across weekly content. Maybe start mixing in some of the talents. Multiple WWE talents have expressed interest in working for AAA, and we've seen that as we went along. We've had the Creed brothers down there quite a few times. Bayley specifically wanted to go down there and work. I believe she wanted to work with Flamer, if I remember correctly. You know, a lot of them are wanting to go down there and have those reps. Like, that's an interesting thing that a lot of people didn't have the opportunity to do because the indies not really being a thing anymore. At the time when they were coming up, to go down to Mexico and kind of get those reps. And so it'd be a lot of fun for a lot of people to go down there. Omos has been down there for a long while. He's found a home there, being just kind of the giant behind, I believe he's with Vikingo, if I remember correctly, as kind of his muscle. So just down there being a muscle for some guy, it's a good role for him. Hopefully that pans out and gets him something going. But what do you think of them maybe integrating AAA more into the United States product?
I don't have a problem with it. Your biggest thing is people knowing who people are and what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you can't just bring in somebody in the middle of a story and expect the American audience to know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, this is my biggest complaints with AEW is we are bringing in people that storylines and stuff that we don't know anything about from CMLL, and yeah, the matches are good, but what the fuck are they fighting for? Like,
well, and honestly, we get the same thing with even in their own product with ROH. They bring in, you know, an ROH match going on. It's like, well, what is this? Oh, this has been going on for 6 months. We just don't know it because we haven't seen shit about it.
Right.
So, yeah, it that is going to be kind of the hurdle. And I think that it's something they can get past. I mean, we've seen that with Iguana coming up. You know, the fans really attached to him and loved what he was doing, so that he's kind of become a fan favorite already for the American audience. I'm sure they would do the same thing with Psycho Clown, the whole gimmick of ripping off the mask and all that stuff. I'm sure that would play really well in America.
Right.
That kind of stuff. So I think it's a good thing, but yeah, I mean, they are going to have to do more explaining. So like maybe some vignettes, and please, for God's sakes, learn from what you did with Asuka. Have them do it in their own language and give us subtitles, because we have seen what happens when you try to have them talk out of their language. It doesn't work. They don't have the right inflection. Because they don't have the confidence. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. To project what they need to project in the American language versus what they're used to speaking, because not everybody can be Lou Big Kaiser.
He's an anomaly. Like,
I want to get him and Swiss in a room together and just see if they know the same 5 languages, because each of them say they know 5 languages.
Claudio.
Yeah. So I want to know, do they know the same 5? Is that could they talk to each other in just random 5 languages and understand each other? John Cena Classic. We talked about this a few weeks back. It's still a little early in the development of what they're going to do with that. It remains a work in progress with no finalized date or venue as of yet. Early discussions suggest as possible early December maybe window, aligning with WWE's calendar and the anniversary of Cena's final match. Netflix has reportedly shown immediate interest in hosting the event, though nothing really has been finalized as of yet with them either. Very little of the concept is even locked in at this stage, as far as whether it will be singles, whether tags will be involved. You know, what exactly are we going to be seeing other than what Cena has said, which is we're going to have main roster talent versus NXT talent, and the fans will vote on who wins it. So it looks like we're still waiting for some information. Do you want to see tags and singles and all that be in it, or how do you want to see
Is
that
the
happen?
is the better question? Do I want to see this at all?
Really?
Couldn't give a fuck.
Oh wow. Okay, I think that's a hot take. Most people are saying that they want to see NXT and WWE go at it.
Oh no. I don't have a problem with that part of it.
Okay.
The fact that we're turning this into a John Cena. Owen Hart called. He wants his tournament back. Get the fuck out of here with this. Like, why are we doing this? If you want to have those matches, then let's just build a pay-per-view around it. Call it whatever the fuck you want to call it. Do it on Battleground. That's the perfect place. Do an NXT versus main roster show. Build up to it for a few months, like little bits here and there. Why are we making this the John Cena Classic? The fans are going to vote on, so it's a popularity contest. So it doesn't really matter who's any good or how much the veteran makes the rookie look good. When winning means nothing.
Yeah. Well, and
This
that's
is
the
a
thing.
horrible idea.
The person who wins the John Cena Classic could be someone that doesn't even win their match.
Yeah.
They could lose their match.
That's what I'm
But the fans
saying.
like
This is a no. This is a sure guys putting together a barbecue. Stampede's killing tonight. That thing about the Titanic was solid too.
yeah. Well, and I go ahead.
I'm sure I will get a ton of hate for this. I don't care. I do not care, and I do not understand why we're putting John's name on it.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
if this crashes and burns, it's still got his fucking name on it.
Yeah, it's fascinating to me because of course Triple H says he never pivots of everything. He hates that word pivot. But I do kind of wonder if it was a pivot because they were like, he's going to make a big announcement, and everybody's like, it's just going to be about the stupid club. And then now it's not about the club, so what are we doing here? To Stampede's point, though, only if we just had a pay-per-view that was around a brand versus brand mentality, like a series of people that have to survive things, that we could put this on.
Okay.
If only.
Right. Like, this just screams Brawl for All.
Oh, okay. I could see that.
I mean, you should have this whole plan laid out, and the fans go, nah, bro, fuck y'all. That's not how this going. I'm just, like, everybody thought that whole thing was built for Dr. Death.
Mm-hmm.
Then he got knocked the fuck out. So what do when you plan something for this, and then the fans are like, no, we hate that guy.
Yeah.
Like, if you put any heels in this, they're going to lose.
The funny story about the whole Brawl for All thing, though, just because I've listened to so many different shoot interviews about it from different people that were in it or adjacent to it, and all of them have said that everyone told Vince this is a bad idea, and that Bart Gunn was probably going to knock everybody the fuck out. And that's what happened.
He was not a good wrestler. That man could fight.
Yeah. Well, and then Billy Gunn recently did one with CBV, and he talked about the after effect. Because remember, he won the Brawl for All, and what did he get out of that? A match with Butterbean, and got knocked the hell out. And the reason is because they told him he had to box. So it was boxing rules.
Yeah.
He's not a boxer. That's not how he won it. So he was trying to do the boxing stuff that he was taught like a week of how to do, and got knocked the hell out. So poor Bart. I do like that take on it. I think it being very Brawl for All-ish. I think that's a good comparison, because it's like we have this concept and we say this concept, and now we don't know what we're really going to do with it. It's just we had a concept, and that's where we are. Speaking of some indie stuff, MLW updates. Fusion returns. Locker room shifts are happening. MLW Fusion is officially returning with a new season after a 3-year hiatus. Premiere details are expected to be announced immediately. Separately, Mr. Thomas has officially departed from Major League Wrestling after a recent release. Additional MLW roster changes are reportedly expected to surface soon as well, to see kind of where we're going to end up with who is in the current MLW sphere. With you and me both being more indie driven here lately, as far as watching some indie stuff. Me with my Triller account, you with your indie wrestling account, which, by the way, love that. First thing I turn on, turn it on the on demand, and I see a match with someone who looks very reminiscent to Dakota Kai, and then I look back and go, oh no, this is a match of her on the indies before she got famous. And she
Charlie.
was amazing then. It wasn't even Charlie. It was Ariel or something like that. Was
Okay.
the original name. It's like, holy crap. I still need to grab some Stardom stuff. I've seen like 2 matches from Stardom. I want to go back and watch some of that too. But with this being more indie driven and all that, MLW is housed on YouTube. Is this something that you can see yourself maybe taking some time out and trying it out and see what it is?
Absolutely. I am enjoying finding, like, IWTV. I caught some of Hooligan Championship Wrestling. I caught it because Alexis Littlefoot and Gabby were talking, and I'm like, I've never seen your stuff. I followed you on Twitter for a while. Where can I find you? And she said IWTV and YouTube. And I'm like, what the fuck is IWTV? So I went and looked to where I found it, and she's fun. She's leggy. She's young, but I say she's young. She's in her 30s, I just found out. But I was just like, huh?
She seems young.
Yes. There was a lot of really younger women on the show that I watched.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, but it was fun. Like, it was her and Killer Kelly, and it was a great match. Like, I'm really enjoying all of the independent stuff that I'm watching.
Yeah, I'm really loving it too. I will say also the benefit of watching the on-demand portion of it, so it's not even like looking for anything. It's just watching their channel that they have going.
Right.
So it's just a rotating thing. I went from watching that old Charlie match to watching a new match with the WWE ID champion currently facing against somebody. So it was like it went from something years ago to a current match.
Yeah.
It's really fun to kind of get that mix of everything and get to see a little bit of everything. I'm waiting for Proud Papa Stampede to chime in and say how proud of he is, because he does that every time we talk about the indies. But anyway, no, I'm looking forward to MLW. A lot of people that we see today have went through there, and so seeing that being rebuilt and coming back after such a long hiatus, I'm excited to see what they're doing now.
This is like MLW, like they've signed a bunch of people recently, right?
Mm-hmm.
Major League Wrestling, I think is what it is.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that and seeing what they're going to do there. AEW, Paul Wight has said in a recent interview that he is staying put. Reportedly, he had a contract period approaching earlier this year. AEW sources have confirmed he has agreed to a new deal. He also said it himself in a recent interview with Simon over in What Culture Wrestling. So wonderful to see that he is deciding to stay there. He also says he still believes he's got just one more match in him, that he's still trying to figure out how to fit that in. He's down a whole lot of weight, and so he's looking trim. Some people have recently done some videos of him, kind of hunched over and looking kind of bad, but there's no telling what was going on that day, as far as, maybe he had to sit in a damn rent-a-car for a couple hours, and maybe that's why he's hurting. So, but he seems to be in good spirit and everything. And plus, I think Simon was hitting on him during that interview.
That was so funny.
And Paul said the funniest thing I think I've ever heard, which is the truest statement I've also ever heard, which is everybody wants to flirt with a giant until the giant flirts back. So if that's the case, I agree. Snoo. There's also some AEW talent buzz. We've talked about it week after week after week. Kofi and Austin Creed, there's been some more talk about that. There's a strong internal push from reports coming in that AEW is trying to bring in Kofi and Austin. One of the sources repeatedly reacted positively to the idea of at least one match involving the duo. They're not naming who that source is, though. Both would be able to use adapted ring names. In fact, actually, the latest report I saw is that Kofi Kingston may own his name, so he actually could continue being Kofi Kingston. So obviously
That's
Austin,
so fair.
obviously Austin, that's his own name, Austin Creed. So it'd be easy just to change from Xavier Woods to Austin Creed. He's kept that name prominent throughout the years because everything he's done outside of the ring, he has said Austin Creed, and everything inside the ring he said Xavier Woods. So we've kind of kept that going. But several AEW talents were also stated that they'd be excited with the idea of working with the New Day. I'd love to see what they could do there.
That.
Yeah, Matthew and Nichols.
You and Nicholas.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's the big one. We had some back and forth on one of our tweets that I posted. A wonderful image of them in the ring face to face with the Bucks, but I kind of agree with one of the things it said there of like that needs to be the end game. Like, let's not just jump straight into that. That's the big money match everybody wants. So have them go in there and work up to that. Maybe start with the FTR, start with Big Bill and
if Big Bill is still there.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second too. But start with some other teams. Yeah, don't just go.
There's a lot of others. The Creeds or the Guns.
Yeah, Guns would be fun. Speaking of the Guns, there was also a tag team match that was stated might happen, and then immediately said was not going to happen because the better professional wrestler than Bret Hart, Road Dogg Jacy Jayne, was at a signing with his former tag team partner, Badass Billy Gunn, and they were interviewing both of them and basically running off at the mouth was Road Dogg saying, you know what, I'm putting it out in the ether right now. Me and Billy Gunn versus the Guns in a dumpster match. In which case, Billy Gunn looked at him and went, he was like, you thought I did all the work before.
Right.
So, anyway, obviously having a lot of fun, but it was good to see those two guys back together. Having fun. They were busting each other's balls through the entire interview. It was so much fun. But to the point that Tori was saying, speaking of Big Bill, his AEW contract was believed to be nearing expiration around late May or early June. No confirmation has happened yet as far as if he's going to renew or extend that deal. He has been absent from AEW and ROH TV for several months now. So there is a possibility that maybe his tag team reign and faction involvement with Chris Jericho's learning tree, or whatever they're calling themselves now, that the learning tree has kind of been chopped down. But it seems to be that there's a possibility he might be walking away. Now, here's the thing with Big Bill. He was a Trip guy. Trip loved him.
Yeah.
And now that he's clean, and now that he's got himself in shape, and he's got himself ready to go, I think Trip would make a big deal out of him.
I think so. I don't think going back benefits him at all. I don't think it benefits him.
Okay.
I think he's there for 2 seconds and then nobody cares.
Yeah. I personally think it would be how they bring him in. I mean, because the obvious easy pop is to bring him and Enzo back. Enzo has recently went on the apology tour of kind of recanting some of the things he said and how he was in a bad place, and he's in a better place now, and he appreciates the time that he had with WWE and all that stuff. The superstar that they turned him into. So obviously he's I don't say obviously, he appears to be sincere in what he's doing, but he also could be trying to vie for a job to come back to. Who knows? But that would be the easiest mark, obviously, is to get both of them back in the ring together. Their tag team was massively over. I remember specifically the first night, I believe it was, that they were on Raw. Their mic was cut off, and so Enzo looked at his hand because he's got a mic tattooed on his hand, and he started doing the gimmick, and the entire crowd was so loud doing
It wasn't that night, but yes, that did happen.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it could be something that
Their
said as a big
debut
deal.
night was him talking about smacking Devon's lazy eye straight,
Yeah,
and that shit was brutal too.
it was. So that would be something like it. I think that could benefit him because like he's just kind of he's a floundering second guy right now. They looked to give him a lot of stuff when he first started because they were having him powerbomb everybody through everything. But then just slowly he just kind of became the big guy in the back for a lot of people.
So Stampede has a point though. Andrade was also a Triple H guy, so was Malachi.
Yeah.
So it's a fair point.
Here's the thing I'll say with that. Andrade, I think the problem they had with him is that they kept trying to push him in the American product and the American way. I think if they would have put him over, because obviously we lost what they considered in AAA to be the biggest superstar that they had, because WWE was not going to work with him. I think if they would have slipped Andrade into that role,
yeah,
I think it would have blown off, and he could have been the face of AAA. He could have been that guy.
I agree.
So I just think we did him wrong as far as what he was trying to do. Malachi, I love Malachi, I do, but I feel like Malachi very much is. Malachi is to me a mix of Vince Russo. I'll explain that here in a second. And Bray Wyatt. I think he has an amazing mind for his gimmick, for vignettes, what he's going to do. But I think unless he's got someone to filter those out, and this is where the Vince Russo comes in. Like Vince Russo has great ideas, but his are like shooting fish in a barrel. He throws out 30 different things. Maybe 2 or 3 of them are great. He needs someone to kind of filter that through. And I think maybe Malachi might be the same way. Because some of the stuff he comes out with, like, he'll do a thing, and the next week he'll do that thing again, but it's kind of different and kind of in a different direction than it was before. He keeps trying to mold it and change it. He needs someone to just go, no, do this thing. Stick with that
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And
I
of course,
agree.
then again, also tell him not to, like, don't tell him to steal other people's gimmicks when they leave. That would be probably a good idea, too. Yeah, I do believe Malachi is very much his own worst enemy. Zelina, I think, is just, unfortunately, cannon fodder. I think she's just, unfortunately, tied to him, and that ends up happening. But anyway, so yeah, it looks like his contract is going to be up. He's going to be in the free agency soon because there's no talk about them redoing his contract. And not that I blame them. He hasn't been much for them. Of course, they haven't been much for him either. That goes both ways in a lot of these situations of when someone's contract's running out. Is either one of them were really doing anything for each other. So why not just cut that out? I would love to see him go somewhere else. Stampede mentions Rev Pro because he was England. So that could be a good spot for him to land. Or maybe just roam around the indies a little bit and kind of see what's out there. It's working for a lot of people. Killer Cross, for instance, he just won his 5th world title on the indies. He's doing kind of like the belt collector thing a little bit himself, going from indie to indie and carrying those titles. So maybe have a little fun doing some stuff like that. Or maybe, like we mentioned, like his stuff with Enzo. Enzo's still out there doing stuff on the indies. Hook back up with your boy and run the indies as a tag team and make some money and have some fun. Because that would be something you could possibly get a big paycheck for.
Stampede's point about being a TKO guy, not a Triple H guy, he's not wrong.
Yeah, no,
That's where we are.
You're absolutely right. I mean, obviously we saw that this past Monday because the cinder block with a goatee himself, the final boss for Tractor Supply, showed back up, pulled a SpongeBob and split his pants again. Because apparently we're just going to do that every single time.
Him showing up tells me their Obafemi Open Challenge failed miserably in booking.
I don't know that it failed yet, but I think it came to a point of they realized that wasn't going to keep him over long. And he's not ready for Cody yet. He's not ready for Roman yet. He's not ready for that upper echelon quite yet. And so you have to keep him hot until we get him there. And I think they realized, shit, what are we going to do? But what benefit do you get out of him and Brock? If he beats Brock again, then it's the same thing and not as exciting because he already did it once. If Brock beats him, then it's bullshit.
Brock looked like a chump.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't win either way. If Brock beats him, now Oba looks like a chump and he got lucky. So it doesn't really help anybody to have this rematch. I'd like to see, like, honestly, here's the thing. I got kind of excited because when I saw the hair and the ponytail, I wasn't looking at the size of the guy.
You thought it was Drew.
I thought it was Sammy. And if Sammy would have attacked him...
Here's the problem. No, here's the problem with that, though. He has tossed everybody around.
Yep.
If somebody is going to attack him from behind like that, it should have been Drew.
I don't disagree. I'm just saying that my initial thought was if this dude that has snapped because he has tried to be the good guy, and it hasn't got him anywhere, and he snaps,
yeah,
that would be a better story to me than Brock coming back to get his lick back.
Yeah.
You know, basically pulling a Mark Henry with a salmon jacket. I'm retired. I'm going. I'm leaving. Never mind.
So good.
It was really good. I love that little dick. Yeah. Absolutely. They had something perfect and then took it away. Every week, I ask you a question. This week's no different now that we're finally back on the rails. Unfortunately, the first few minutes of this was a little rough, but I'm ready to settle back in. I'm ready to talk to you about the things we normally talk about, and I'm ready to ask you the question I ask you every single week.
Who's better than Canyon?
Who better?
It's you.
So who better this week? I'm gonna move this over again, just like I did the other. I need to make good. I need to reorganize this. We're gonna start having some more go from time to time. We have talked about legends. We have talked about call-ups. We have talked about tag teams. We've talked about entrance musics. Today we're just going to talk about NXT. Who better than Jericho? Everybody. We're going to talk about people that are NXT adjacent, people that have been in NXT, are in NXT, and we're going to decide who better out of these people. First one. Got to start it off hard. Carmelo Hayes versus Trick Williams.
Mellow.
Fair enough. Carmelo Hayes and the Mad Russian himself, Ilya Dragunov.
Mellow. I'm not an Ilya fan.
Okay. Carmelo Hayes and the dog, Braun Breaker.
Mellow.
Did all that for nothing. Carmelo Hayes, Roxanne Perez.
Ooh. I gotta go Roxy.
Okay. Roxanne Perez and the athletic, flashy, and improving every time she gets to ring, Tiffany Stratton.
Tiffy.
Okay. Tiffy time.
Yep.
Tiffy time and the ruler, Oba.
Ooh. I gotta stick with Tiffy.
Okay. It's not Tiffy time. Anyway, Tiffy versus Tony D'Angelo.
Tiffy.
Tiffy versus Lyra Valkyria.
Lyra.
Fair enough. All right. A little bit of a surprise there. I was not expecting that. Lyra Valkyria versus the last one. Not together with his tag team partner, just him, Nathan Frazier.
Lyra.
All right. So in this particular NXT-driven version of Who Better, Corey's pick is Lyra Valkyria to be Who Better in all of them. If you agree with her, or if you don't agree with her, go ahead and drop what you're going to say in the chat, or if you're watching this on VOD, put it down in the comments and let us know who you think is Who Better. Let's stick there for a minute. Anyway, all right, we are going to real quick hear about the Gimmick Table Media. I said we're going to hear.
Don't go anywhere. Ace Finley again, reminding you to check out Gimmick Table Media, a community of creators, streamers, podcasters, and fans from all corners of entertainment. Dive into chats, collabs, and laughs. There's always a spot for you at the table. Catch all our amazing shows, creators, and exclusive content at linktr.ee/gimmicktablemedia.
Who's better than Canyon?
All of them. Just all of them.
Sorry about that. It's a rough day. It doesn't help that my buttons are switched because I switched it to StreamYard because of last week. And so now it keeps pulling up the StreamYard side. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you very much for saying we always do an amazing job. Not today. Today's a bitch. I said bitch. Let me see if this is gonna work.
I want to float this by. I put out a couple of posts on both Facebook.
News team, assemble! Who's better than Canyon?
Is Christy still here? Because I'm sure you want to call her a bitch on the air, too. It was funny.
They are very much possessed. I'm gonna blame it on that and not me. It's all that. It's all that problem. It's the ghost of Barry Horowitz is causing me to not be good. I don't think he's dead. I feel bad saying that now. I don't think Barry Horowitz is dead. I was trying to put up the logo for Bring It to the Table. That obviously did not happen. So we're just going to pretend like the logo right there. Bring It to the Table is a segment we started adding every single week that we want to shine a light on not just the main three things that people watch on a daily basis, the WWE, the AEW, TNA less than everybody. But my business. What indies have you watched? For you, 2 weeks, because it's been 2 weeks since we had this conversation, that you want to shout out?
What? Oh my god. Hooligan Wrestling. Hooligan Championship Wrestling, I think it's out of Indiana.
Okay.
The show that I watched was something the Queen. I think it was Queendom is what they called it. Like, basically, it was an all-women show. It was a lot of fun. Like I said, there was some really young talent, and it was really noticeable they were young talent.
Okay.
But I still enjoyed it. Like, it was fun. Like, it's one of those things that I talk about the production value with, like, some of the independents. One of the ladies that was announcing had her kid there and was, like, talking to her kid, and you could hear it on the microphone, and it was adorable and hilarious. And I'm sure some people would be upset about that, and I'm like, she's just being a person that's working that has a kid. Like, shit happens.
Yeah.
But I did. I enjoyed it. It was a fun show. And then I watched something else, and I don't remember what it was called. Hang on. It was the Food Fight is what they called it. It was in like a food court in like Worcester, Massachusetts or something.
Okay.
Seriously, I was like, what are we doing here, bro?
That sounds like a lot of fun.
It was kind of entertaining. And again, an all women show. Gabby had a match, which of course I was really enjoying. She wrestled Valentina Rossi, who I had not seen. She's a lot of fun. There was just a lot of different people that I hadn't really gotten to know, and I just enjoyed the hell out of it. It was. Where is it? I don't know what it was. I'm still getting used to this format because I don't know much about this website. So,
That's fine.
but yeah, it was a good show and I had fun. And I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's do some more.
Yeah. I can't name anything specific that I watched. I've just kind of been bouncing around a little bit on Triller, and then I watched a couple of things since you.
Women's Wrestling Revolution. Women's Wrestling Revolution was the company, and it was called Food Fight.
Okay, that's great.
And it was a lot of fun.
Oh, Stampede's got some time code there for you. Alley Catch defeats Valentina Rossi 8:49.
I haven't seen Allie and Valentina. It was the one I saw was Gabby, Forza, and Valentina. Which again, great match, a lot of fun.
Music from behind me now. Anyway, I haven't seen anything really specific. Like I said, I've just kind of been bouncing around. Seen some really old stuff from when some of the stars we know are in the indies, which is a lot of fun. And then, of course, seeing some of the WWID folks today. I did get to see, you and I haven't got to talk about, but I did get to see a Gabby match when I watched GCW's One Night Only. He was on that. It was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Gabby Forza defeats Valentina Rossi 11:42.
It's a good match.
In Worcester.
The Western Public Market, yeah. It was crazy. Like, they're literally in like a food court, and the announcers are talking about some of the food. It was amazing. I'm like, this is... sign me up.
Yep. The indies are a lot more fun. And I want to say, because I think people are forgetting nowadays that we're enjoying this thing where it's a bunch of people with no pants fighting for a belt. It's ridiculous. It's supposed to be ridiculous. That's the whole point. It's supposed to be fun. And so we forget that sometimes. We talked about it last week when I was sitting here with Chris and with Lady Alpha about Danhausen, because a lot of people are loving Danhausen, and I love the fact that they're loving him for the simple fact that it's fun. People are starting to have a little bit of fun with wrestling, and specifically with WWE again, because WWE hasn't been fun in a while, and that's unfortunate, but it is good to see. And I will say AEW is on an uptick. I mean, I hate to bring this back off the indies and back to the main two, but I don't think I've seen a bad show from AEW, even TV related, in the past few weeks at the very least. They've been looking really good. So I'm very happy with that. That's because we are. I think Stampede, that's definitely something we're missing. Stampede saying that you two look genuinely happy when you speak about the indies. It's because it's so much fun. I think it's something we were definitely missing. I was actually just talking to our future guest about like why we do this show, and I had mentioned to her, I was like, go back and check some of our stuff, and just I want you to feel safe. So you watch some of our stuff, and if you think you feel safe in this environment, we would love to have you on. And so she watched some things, but she watched some of the older stuff back when we used to do like the play-by-play reviews of stuff, and I was like, we don't really do that anymore. And she was asking why, and I said, well, it's basically because it became a job at that point. Like, we were watching wrestling to do notes and to like talk about high points and all that stuff. So we started to hate it. By God. Sonic, hit us up. We're still waiting for it.
I'm just saying.
I mean, I can't drink most of your stuff now, but I do get your water at least once a week. Because your Sonic Ice is still the best. Fight me on that. But yeah, it's a lot more fun, and so that's the thing I'm liking about it, because WWE's becoming a bit of a droll to watch. There's some great things that are in there. I don't want to not shine a light on some of the good stuff that's happening. Despite what happened on Monday, the stuff with Oba has been a lot of fun. Trick has been killing it. I didn't like the fact that we had a storyline with a gingerbread man, but every time Trick was on TV with it, he was amazing. So at least he was fun. The Danhausen stuff's great. So I'm loving to see that. Jacob's great, but I think they're pushing him into a spot that I don't think Jacob's ready for. But that's a whole different conversation.
He's not.
But he looks like you're
Drew, Mary's son was here this weekend and was here last night. We were watching. He said, a lot of people talk about who's going to be the first one to drop the F word on TV. Jason's going to be the first one to drop the N word.
Yeah,
100%.
probably.
If you put him in that position, you get him hyped up enough, he's going to talk like he talks.
Yeah.
And forget where he's at, and I'm going to be like, is this a repeat of Booker T? What are we doing?
I was going to say, Booker T was the first one to drop that on television. And Hulk Hogan was the first one to do it on recording. Absolutely, Stampede. That's why you have 123 TVs at your house. At least that's the last I counted. More wrestling consumption, obviously. It does make things better. And it helps you appreciate a lot of other things. So,
I'm aware this is nothing I watch on the independents is going to be as crisp as what I'm going to get from a TV production.
Mm-hmm.
Camera shots, audio, production, in-ring, all of that. Now, I'm not saying some of the people on the independents can't go. But I'm aware of what I'm getting, but it makes it more fun for me. Like I said, that woman was dealing with her child.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I was talking with Christy, who's always in the chat, always supporting of us, very good friend of ours.
You think she's a bitch tonight?
I did call her a bitch tonight. Because she brought up something that I'm not going to bring up here. Damn it, because I'm not going to cry on my own stream.
I've done it.
You cried on the stream? I don't remember you crying on stream.
I've gotten emotional several times on the stream.
Have you? You're good at hiding it, because I haven't noticed, but yeah. Anyway, cried over my best friend and how great she is. So that's what happened. Leave that alone. What?
We're not gonna talk about it. You don't want me to?
No, we're not gonna talk about it. But I love that we're getting into the indie stuff. I love that we're watching some fun stuff for once. But I was talking to Christy, and there is a wonderful group here, which is Wrestling for a Cause, I think is the name. I think that's the name of the company. They're actually based right here in Broken Arrow.
Yeah, they're here. Yeah.
They have a deal coming up. I believe it was in December 6th, if I remember correctly. And I think I'm going to try to get tickets for me and the little one. And Christy talked about wanting to go, and I'm sure if we can drag you along
December.
with us. I think December. Yeah, their shows are very far apart because they're trying to book. They always try to book some bigger talent for it, and so there's always a lot of time in between their shows, usually a couple of months. So I'll double check on the date though, and you and me can talk about that later. But I'd love to go and watch that live, because I think even more so, I've said to people numerous times that if you want to get into wrestling, you should watch a live show. Go watch it live, because that's a whole different experience.
The fact that she is so excited about the GCW show concerns me a little.
Well, she's a little psycho. It's okay. But the idea of going to a live indie show really does excite me, because I know it's a lot more deranged. Seeing a lot of the stuff when we started bringing Kid Bandit on the show, and touting her as one of our favorites. Seeing the stuff she was getting to do on the indies was a lot of fun. Not being so crisp and getting to kind of do just some fun stuff. She had a not getting called a bitch in front of everyone else again. Okay. Fair enough. seeing some of the stuff she got to do. She got to do a whole different gimmick, which was a lot of fun. I don't know if you ever caught that. So she did like a vampire gimmick for a little bit called Bella. Kid Bandit. Kid Bandit, doing some GCW stuff, was doing this like character. It was a riff off of Bella from the Twilights, because she wore a Twilight shirt, and it was a lot of fun. But seeing her do that stuff, it had her as a legit vampire, so she was actually legit biting people on the neck, and there was vignettes about it too. That was always a lot of fun. There's a lot of people that have gotten to do that. You're doing multiple gimmicks on the indies and having a lot of fun with it. I'd just love to see some fun in my wrestling again, and I think indies are doing that. Anyway, we're wrapping up to the end of our show here. If you rocked with us tonight, hit that like, subscribe, and follow wherever you're watching. And don't forget, join the Gimmick Table Media Discord. That's where you can have real conversations with us. We watch parties from time to time. You get to see a second screen experience for our Thursday shows. So that way you can see both sides of the screen of what we're doing and what we're playing. What's Okada? Oh. Okay, story time. Okada is an amazing wrestler from Japan who has been relegated to an amazing wrestler that says bitch a lot. That's just kind of his gimmick.
Okay, so Christy went with me last night, and I picked out a wedding dress. See? And she sent the pictures to Michael, and he said something really sweet, and he wasn't going to tell people, and she told a bunch of people in a group chat, and that's why he called her a bitch.
That's right.
And it was hilarious, and Mary and I were cracking up that he did it. But she was fantastic, and I was super glad she was there, and she took a bunch of pictures and videos.
And from what I understand, a lot better experience.
Much
better than the first time. So, good Lord. Couldn't have gotten much worse. But, just a reminder that in 2 Thursdays, right? 2 Thursdays. In 2 Thursdays, we are going to be having a wonderful sit-down interview with Gabby Forza, the Nomi herself. Talk about a little bit of wrestling, but we're gonna talk more just about her as a person, her life, her wonderful husband, and what's going on there, and just things she likes to do.
I started to think this interview will probably be some wrestling and more just about her world and her life and the things she likes. And I have a couple of questions for her, and yeah, we're just gonna vibe out and see how it goes.
I want to get into her powerlifting stuff. I definitely want to get into that. It's something myself I've thought about. Like obviously I'm not going to do it professionally or anything, but I've thought about gearing my workouts more towards that because I think that would be kind of cool. But
I need somebody to explain to me why Mason Rook looks like a butch lesbian.
Well, I mean, less so now that he doesn't have the mullet.
Right. He cut the hair. So.
At least he cut that. Also, a fun little tidbit, in case you did not know. Mason Rook's entrance music is Mason Ryan's old entrance music.
Stop. That guy was there for a cup of coffee, too.
Yeah, back in 2012, it was the exact same music. I don't know if that's a coincidence because of the name, or if they actually just went, yeah, that works. Mason for Mason. I do wonder if they're going to do a thing between him and the pretty boy from LFG.
Cam Hendricks.
Yeah, because they had a little.
They had a thing tonight.
Thing today. Anyway, that kid is going to be great. I can't wait to see what he does.
Cam or Mason Rook?
Rook. Not that Cam's not great. Cam's good, but
be good. He's still young.
Yeah.
Will Cruz is amazing already. What they do with him is going to make a difference.
Yeah. But him doing things like doing a moonsault from the second rope to the outside to a group of people. I will say I did see an interview. I want to say it was Maven. It was either Maven or it was Stevie Richards. I'm not sure which one. who did have a good point though. Of
You left him hanging in the corners.
left who hang what?
I'm watching what Mason Rook did to Cam Hendricks and the way he just left him laying in the corner all fucked up. Ah, that's so good.
They brought up the point of him doing that spot and how that could be dangerous for the people on the floor. And I kind of agree with that statement as a bigger dude. Like, if I was to jump off the second rope onto a group of people, nobody wants to catch my fat ass. And that's kind of what happened when he did that moonsault. You could see, like, they kind of split. So you're having a chance of hurting the people catching him and hurting him because he's hitting the floor. So, I can kind of see the point on that. Old heads are going to old head, but yeah, they need to not do that kind of stuff. I just noticed we didn't see the notification come in. Let me see if I can make it come in. Can that be right? Can that go right? Any chance?
Probably not.
Hey, it did. Extreme Chick. She went over on Twitch. Got us over there. I don't know why it didn't come up. I'll have to check that to see why that's not coming up. But at least it came up when I clicked the button. That's at least working for me today. So if nothing else is working, at least we got Truth to wave at us and tell us it's something. Someone hooked up with it. Anyway, for the last pop this week, I normally have that kind of written out and set to talk about, but I actually want to have a collaborative last pop because you were telling me something before we got on stream that I had not seen yet and I had not heard about. And so I do want to talk about it because we always try to do something positive and talk about positive things and how to look at things in a better light. I'm going to let you set up what you told me, and then you and I can discuss it for a minute.
We'll talk about Chelsea.
Yeah.
Chelsea Green. Obviously, I'm a huge Chelsea Green fan. Humongous Chelsea Green fan. At some point, and let me see if it tells me when this tweet was. It doesn't. At some point, she tweeted, I hate to break it to you, but not only have I shared locker rooms with all genders, I've also shared bathrooms. And no, I wouldn't give a fuck. In fact, I've got family members that are trans, so I've gotten not just 10 seconds of thought to this, but close to 30 years and 10 seconds of thought. If you'd like to take your bigotry elsewhere, I would greatly appreciate that. She tweeted this at some point. It was announced yesterday that she will be one of the WWE people at the UFC Freedom Fan Fest thing and nauseating thing that's happening in DC. And somebody retweeted that and said, I guess the check cleared. And she's like, doing my job and supporting the community are not mutually exclusive. I'll continue to do what I can to advocate for human rights, whether you approve or not, to this person. She's doing her job. Like, this isn't I'm not going to go. That's how you get fired for a breach of contract. Like, what the fuck? She can be an ally and still be like, I have a job to do because this is the contract that I signed for said job.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean she's happy about it. It just means she's going to go and try to make whatever fans show up have the best experience with her.
Yeah. Well, and it's people doing that type of energy towards Chelsea and then not towards like Punk, which drives me nuts a little bit because we're not talking about the fact that Punk is the face of the brand of a company that is constantly being shown in a political stance that he doesn't agree with. But it's his job. Like he's contracted with that company.
Yeah.
It's not like he can go out talking about how much bullshit he thinks it is that they're hanging around with that that group of people. We'll just leave it at that. It's crazy that we dogpile on someone who's such an ally of the community and such a wonderful person, and we always see great fun things from her, and she has such a great attitude, and she's married to Matt Cardona, which has to be hard in itself,
because that man has no boundaries.
no, if anybody has seen any of his YouTube of when he's out looking for stuff, and the fact that he bought, what was it, a $600 wrestling ring, because it was the LJN ring that had not had the stickers put on it yet. Just at a drop of a hat, just decided he was going to buy it. Like that's a lot to have that come home to. Plus, he's having a whole room built just for the toys in the new house that they're building. So obviously it's a lot to deal with. Thank you, Leah, for being in. I appreciate it. We're trying to wrap up too. It's just kind of vamping about this. But yeah, if you're gonna do that, keep that energy with the other people. Like don't just call her out because she has to do this thing. We've got Taker that's got his own podcast and he said his own political things. But people aren't saying shit about him and what he's doing.
I've said shit about him.
Well, yeah, but just as a major public, like the major public isn't saying shit about him, and he's flat out said that he's on that side of the fence. Like he's made no bones about it. But
Yeah,
he's Taker, and
I
nobody
know.
says shit. What I want to bring to is, I do say keep that energy, but I'd also rather say don't have that energy at all. Understand that these people have to do what they have to do. It's easy to say, well, walk away then. Well, when you've lived your life as a professional wrestler and you reach that pinnacle, and we can all make our bones about what we think the pinnacle is, and some people want to say that it's not WWE anymore, but still at this moment, that is still the pinnacle as far as where you're going to go to get the most money and get the most exposure. That's where the pinnacle is. And so if they want to be there and they want to continue making a name for themselves, they are going to have to unfortunately swallow some stuff that they don't like. And that's going to be one of those moments where she's going to be at that UFC event and trying to, I assume, to disassociate as much as possible to everything else going on and just watch the matches and try to enjoy her time there as much as she can. Don't dogpile on someone just because they have to do their job. I have had to do some really shitty things because I was getting paid to, and I couldn't walk away from it. And I could not imagine if I had as many zeros on my check as they do and having the same type of conversation. Because let's talk about this. I worked at Hewlett-Packard, and I was not paid extremely well. And I had to do some really shitty things to some people as far as like letting them go when they didn't deserve to be let go. And unfortunately, I was not in a position to say, fuck you and walk away. And Chelsea's not in that position either. In a contract, if she doesn't go, breach a contract. And now you're just screwing yourself over. You're screwing your husband over because he's still working there. Like, if nothing else, if she's even not worried about her own career, I'm sure she's worried about Matt's career. Matt's back there and, like, not in a prominent spot, but he's in a spot where he's on TV, every week. And so at least he's being shown. He's making some good money, and he's back home, as he's always said. Even when he was on the Indies, he always talked about WWE being back home. So leave these people alone. Like it's if you don't agree with someone's political views, that's obviously your right to talk about and everything. But we don't have to be nasty to each other. And we don't get political on this show very often, but I think enough of that comes from both sides. In my opinion, one side more than the other. But both sides, can get pretty damn hateful about the other side. And I think we all just need to realize that we're all humans. We all deserve a safe place. We all deserve love. And we all just need to get along. Why are you laughing at me?
No, I wasn't laughing at you. I'm sorry.
Very bad time to start laughing.
I messaged Gabby to tell her we had talked about her and that I was super excited about this. And she's like, did we say a time? She's like, I didn't write it down, but I will now. That's what I started laughing at.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. It's like doing a podcast with a squirrel sometimes.
Yes.
Like a damn meerkat. Just. Of course, I do kind of have the same shape as Pumbaa, so that works out.
Hakuna Matata.
I think we could not end it any better than that. Hakuna Matata. And with that, we're officially kicking out. We will catch you on the next one. Bye, everybody.
Here's the cover. Can he do it? Kick out at 2.
together with pride.